Got a Tomb King's Mirror from Inkars and Jepalu. High Queen Khalida versus the banished Grand Hierophant Katep. Neither exactly in Cetra's good graces, but they're around. For the green side, we have Skeleton Warriors and Spearmen, some Nehakara Horsemen, and then a big old pile of elite units. High Queen Khalida herself with her Venom Staff and Venom Wave, Nehakara Lich Priest with Skullstorm and Cursed Blades, and then some more Nehakara Horsemen, a Necropolis Knight with Halberds, and then 2 Necrosphinxes, one of which is the ROR. On the other side, we have 2 Skeleton Chariots, a whole bunch of random Skeleton Spearmen around, 2 Necropolis Knights with Halberds, 2 Sepulchral Stalkers, and then the Sphinx of Usef, backed up by Grand Hierophant Katep with his bound Skullstorms, Sandstorms, whatever, and then Protection and Cursed Blades for his spells. He just wants to spam them out and set the cooldowns of the other Tomb Kings alight. Chariot's gonna charge through Skeleton Warriors. Downhill charge will do a lot of damage, take very little to none in return. There is a predictive Sandstorm. But up on the high ground, we can see the Lich Priest and Nehakara getting shot at by the Sepulchral Stalkers, and a good dodge on the low ground from those Skeleton Warriors, as Chariots get a side charge down some spears, take half their HP, and get to safety. Now over to where the action is. The Necrosphinx is trying to hold back the double Necrosphinx and Necropolis Knights, while other Necropolis Knights also dive in for a bit more damage. Sepulchral Stalkers take a charge from Nehakara Horsemen, but they are going to win that fight pretty handedly. They'll be plenty okay. Lots of buffs here for the red Necrosphinx, while the other 2 Necrosphinxes beat up on him, but the Sepulchral Stalkers offering supporting fire, and of course both sides having Necropolis Knights with Halberds, so that's kind of a wash, but man, those Sepulchral Stalkers are doing good damage. The Katep is helping a bit too. Other Necropolis Knights busy elsewhere, and these Skeleton Chariots are not being microed right now. Clearly a lot of attention is being paid to the big fight over there, so those Skeleton Chariots staying in melee a bit too long, taking a lot of damage, but man, these Sepulchral Stalkers are killing it right now. 500 value from just shooting at these halberds. It looks like the halberds are also taking a lot of damage from their other halberds, their opposing halberds. While they were trying to path past them, they're just taking free shots in the back. As the RR Necrosphinx is just about dead, still getting support from the halberd Necropolis Knights, and now these freed up Sepulchral Stalkers can turn and shoot. Looks like they're going to shoot at the nearest Necrosphinx, just help finish that off rather than dividing their fire. I like that a lot. And a Skullstorm from the green side is ripping through some red spears right now. But man, these Sepulchral Stalkers are really helping out on the backline fight. Tons of value for those guys as the big Necrosphinx goes down. More Necropolis Knights from the red side coming over. And this turned from a green side victory into a very decisive red side area. Just like this immediate fight, not the whole battle. But yeah, one Necrosphinx out of 2 is down. One of the Necropolis Knights is down. And 2 Nehakara Horsemen died over here. While red team lost the Sphinx of Usef, one of their Sepulchral Stalkers, and a lot of HP off one of their Necropolis Knights. But yeah, I'd rather be red. They did great. Sphinx of Usef should be able to clean up that last Necropolis Knight. I don't know if he can also deal with the second Necropolis Knight and the Sepulchral Stalkers. We'll have to see. Elsewhere, Green's infantry are engaged. They had some cav support briefly, but looks like that's busy chasing Skeleton Chariots around. Actually killing off Skeleton Chariots, so it's not nothing. And that is going to be a juicy Skullstorm from Katep. Skullstorm and other vortexes got some adjustments that make them stay in the same area a little bit, but one does unfortunately go a bit awry, so it doesn't do as much damage as it could have. And Katep is dueling with the Lich Priest. He is slightly better. Slightly. Back up on the high ground, Necropolis Knights. These ones died, as we saw, versus the Sphinx. The other one was trying to peel Khalida, but got a Nushapti summon on its face. Sepulchral Stalkers just forced to run for their lives, as another Skullstorm from one side or the other is killing both of these Spearmen. So honestly, I don't know who cast it. Both of them are dying. Bounce power slightly favors the green side. They still have 1 Necrosphinx left. Khalida's still pretty healthy. That Ushapti summon is fake, so don't really factor that in. And then for the green side, I don't know. Their infantry's not going to matter. It's all 2 damaged or sword variant. And this is really bad. Katep tried to peel for the Sepulchral Stalkers, and while that worked, he did get himself in a world of hurt, and he now has to run for his life as Khalida is trying to get some back hits on him. Rear charges, where his melee defense won't be as high. Once those Ushapti fade away, we still have a Sepulchral Stalker. We saw how much damage they could do when they're allowed to sit and shoot. We also know that the Necropolis Knights are pretty strong, and Katep does peel for himself, running through his own Skeleton Spearman that forces the Lich Priest to kind of duck and dive away. as the red side has more infantry, especially spear infantry, that they can try and hide behind, so that is what they're going to do. Necropolis Knight's coming over. Someone's got to find a way to get between the Sporkle Stalkers and danger. They're trying to line up a shot now. The Sphinx is pathing towards them. Kalita is too, but the snakes, that's not the player's fault. He was trying to get a shot off, but one of the snakes was close, so then the other snakes tried to move up to where it was to make like a group before they fire, and that's just unfortunate. Sphinx and Kalita getting good damage on the Sporkle Stalkers. Once again, the spears try and peel for them. 40% damage resistance from Katep, also proccing that cooldown reduction. Cooldown increase? Cooldown increase onto their opponents. At this point, it doesn't look like the Sporkle Stalkers are going to get to safety, but they might have stalled for long enough. The Halberd Cav can show up. Still, I don't know if the Sporkle Stalkers can rally. Cretaceous Curse Blades trying to give them a healing from the Tomb King's army passive. The Restless Dead. I suppose it's not an army passive, it's a lore passive, but you get the gist. Necropolis Knight's still trying to protect Mr. President, Mr. President being the Sporkle Stalkers in this case. And this is going to be a great firing angle. There's only four of them here. The other 3 are on their way over, but still. How did you all miss? I'm so angry. That was your big shot, and you all missed a giant kitty cat. Another Skull Storm tears through, and here comes the red Ushabti summon. And I like where it's positioned. You can see all these Necropolis Knights are behind him, so he can't go backwards. He can only go forwards, and if you put Ushabti there and just lock him in place, you can maybe kill this big Sphinx. Sporkle Stalkers will die, but they're maybe going to take the Sphinx of Usef with them, because these Necropolis Knights Halberds do their damnedest to drag that guy into the dirt. Ushabti going to pile on as well, and I like that's the best you could hope for in this situation. For green, we have, if you combine them, 1 Skeleton Warrior left. For red, if you combine them, we have 2 Skeleton Spearmen left. And Ushabti summon, which is fake. So it's really the super wounded Necropolis Knight versus Kalita. That's really all that matters here. The Lich Priest and Katep are kind of a wash. Ushabti summon is a wash, so how much can the Necropolis Knights do? Katep, nasty overcast damage onto himself. I really hope the Necropolis Knights make use of that overcast, because it did so much damage to our boy Katep. And Lich Priest is even trying to take the fight with him. Lich Priest got the charge, so he would win that fight. Charge bonus is really all that matters between these two. They're both such pathetic combatants. Away goes the Skeleton Horseman. Nice Venom Staff, but it unfortunately mostly hit a summon unit. Got a little bit of damage on the Necropolis Knights. But the Necropolis Knights are not doing as well as they need to if they're going to beat Kalita. Yeah, they're going to even start crumbling. This is a bit of a disaster. They're not fighting on top of the spears just yet. They're now starting to fall back to the spears, but they've taken so much damage they'll probably keep crumbling. Gotta fight on the spears, boys. Gotta fight on the spears. Ushabti used their last seconds of life to just harass the Lich Priest, but it's not too much. Venom Wave from Kalita clears out some more spears. And Necropolis Knights not taking the fight on top of the spears. She used the blast to clear out the spears from around her so she could path through to safety. Get onto these guys who have 40% physical resistance now. They're still gonna crumble away. Kalita's not taking enough damage. Balance power shifts heavily against the red team, and I would agree. As those Skeleton Warriors over there, they'll crumble. These guys might even die too, but it doesn't matter because Kalita's going to be just fine as a final Skull Storm comes out from this Lich Priest of Nehakara to tear through the Skeleton Warriors, disperse them. It's just zoning them, just keeping those Spearmen away. But balance power shifting into Army Loss's territory, and I really don't disagree. A crumbling Spearman and almost crumbling Spearman, and then Kalita and Lich Priest versus just Katep. I mean, come on. Come on, buddy. Katep's got to pull out some shenanigans if he's going to win this one. I don't think he's got it in him. Really, like, if he could just get a fight with Kalita sitting on Skeleton Spearman, maybe he could win this game, but the bounce power is just not a fan. Balance power hates your boy Katep. One hit on him, he'll trigger army losses. Does manage to dodge it. He's trying to peel back to his Skeleton Warriors, but hell, army losses is here for him anyway, whether he likes it or not. It's GG. Kalita and the double Necrosphinx win, but it was pretty intense as far as Tomb King's Mirrors go. Necrosphinxes both got good value. The Necropolis Knights Halberds got nothing done for the green team. Kalita did very well. Skullstorm Caster didn't get a lot of value, even though I thought I saw many Skullstorms from him. Katep also did not get a lot of value. His Chariot struggled as well, but the Sporkle Stalkers did fine. Necropolis Knights and Halberds did much better for Katep's side, and his Sphinx got wrecked. GG. Roar.
subscribe. Yes, yes.